Hey you guys, welcome. In this quick little dose of movement medicine, we're going to focus on creating space around the hip joint. In particular, the inner hip, the outer hip, and the back part of the hip. You'll need a strap or a towel or a belt. I'm going to use a belt, and the whole thing will be done reclined. So get what you need, and then meet me on the ground on your back. Start with the knees bent and your feet grounded. Loop the strap or the belt around the ball of the right foot. Relax your shoulders down and slide the base of the skull away from you so the back of the neck is really long. Little bit of detail to make this more effective. Press your sacrum down. The low back is light, and that's going to keep your pelvis pretty neutral, which will create more traction around the sides of the hip that we're getting into. Right now it's the back. So if you start to roll onto your lower back or roll the pelvis up, you kind of lose that traction. Sacrum presses down, shoulders down, big breath in, big breath out. 2 more breaths here. You're welcome to slide this left leg down the mat. So when you do this on your own, you can stay longer, and I'm going to go through it fairly quickly just so you get the idea. The shape is going to create sensation. The sensation is the tool to focus your mind and practice regulating your breath. Take both straps into the right hand. Draw your abdominals together and down. Stabilize your pelvis, and then take this right leg out just slightly to the right. Not so much that you're rolling off your side. That defeats the purpose. So stabilize your core, which will then create that traction, that pull on the inner left thigh. And then bring the leg back up. Switch your hands. Again, this whole time, your sacrum, your pelvis is going to stay grounded. Cross this left leg just slightly past the midline. You'll feel big pull on the outer hip and IT band. Shoulders, pelvis, stay grounded. The ribs, stay grounded. And then you're going to go what I call pass the baton. Just go back and forth, side, outside, and then across the body with the breath. Really focusing on the inner and outer hip and the back of the hip here, obviously. So when we want to mobilize one part of the body, it's a good idea to be able to stabilize another part, and that creates the traction or the pull. So your whole torso is stabilized on the ground, and you're playing with this movement, this lateral extension, and then crossing the midline. Relax something in your upper body and just do a couple more of these. Find a little bit more space each time. And then come up to center. Do a half happy baby. Pull that right knee towards your armpit. Kick your foot up into your strap and pull back down. Just creating some heat into the hamstrings. And then release. Take that leg down the mat. Roll your thighs in and out. And then just pause for a moment. Let your feet flop open. It's kind of like one of my favorite parts. Feel the evidence that you just did something in that right leg that created space and created a change, a shift in energy. Let's do the second side. Loop the strap or the belt, whatever you got, around the ball of your left foot. The knee can be soft. It doesn't have to be super straight. You're not trying to get your leg way towards you, right? More up and down is better because that will indicate that your pelvis is probably neutral. Sacrum pushes down. Back of the neck is long. Relax your shoulders. Couple breaths here. Ever so slightly, you're kind of drawing your left sit bone down as you push the heel up, and that creates that dynamic pull. But keep the breath comfortable and steady as you feel that sensation. Right leg can slide down the mat, and then we'll start our little pass the baton flow. Really connect to your core. So draw everything in and down towards the ground. Straps in the left hand. Take your left leg out just to where you feel your pull. Up to center and cross. Just to where you feel the pull. And find some rhythm. So deep inner hip, outer hip, back of the hip. Really strong, stable through your center so that you're very specifically working the muscles that govern the hip joint. Maybe 1 or 2 more times. And then back up to center. Let's take that half happy baby, pull the left thigh bone towards your ribs. Try to keep the left ankle above the knee. Kick your foot up, pull the hand down. Feel that heat in the hamstrings. Breathe. And then release. Legs down the mat. Just roll the thighs in and out. Take a moment, let the feet flop open, relax yourself, and just feel the feeling of new space for energy to move up and down the legs and then into the whole rest of the body. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock up to your seat. And there you go. Practice that as often as you like. Thank you for taking care of yourself. Namaste.